Hello students, today we are going to learn about chapter 2nd of class 9 science, and the chapter name was Is Matter Around Us Poor? Let's go into the topic. First we have to know about certain things like what is a mixture. As you all know that mixtures are constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter. We know that dissolved sodium chloride can be separated from water by the physical process of evaporation. However, sodium was itself a pure substance and cannot be separated by physical process into its chemical constituents. Next, there are types of mixtures are there. Depending upon the type and nature of the component, the mixtures are divided into different types which are. And next, what is a solution? As you know that a solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances, and there are so many examples we see in our daily life like soda water, lemonade, examples were the examples of solutions. Usually we think of a solution as a liquid that contains either a solid, liquid or a gas dissolved in it, but we can also have solid solutions like alloys and gaseous solutions like air. To know what is meant by alloys, the definition of alloy was alloys are the mixtures of two or more metals or a metal and a metal sorry and a non-metal and cannot be separated into their components by physical methods. But still an alloy is considered as a mixture because it stores the properties of its constituents and can have variable composition. For example, brass was a mixture of approximately 30% zinc and 70% copper. In brass, we have 30% zinc and 70% copper. Okay. Next, a solution has a solvent and a solute as its components. The component of the solution dissolves the other component in it. Usually, the component present in larger amount was called as solvent. The component of the solution that is dissolved in a solvent is called the solute. Okay. Next, properties of a solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture. The particles of a solution are smaller than 1 nanometer in diameter, so they cannot be seen by naked eyes. Because of a very small particle size, they do not scatter a beam of light passing through the solution. Next, what is meant by suspension? Non-homogeneous systems in which solids are dispersed in liquids are called suspensions. A suspension was a heterogeneous mixture in which the solute particle do not dissolve but remain suspended throughout the bulk of medium. Particles of a suspension was clearly visible to the naked eye. There are properties of suspension. Suspension was a heterogeneous mixture. The particles of a suspension can be seen by the naked eye. The particles of a suspension scatter a beam of light passing through it and make its path visible. The solid particles settle down when a suspension was left undisturbed. Next, they can be separated from the mixture by the process of filtration. What is meant by colloidal solution? Okay. Colloidal solution means a colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture like milk. Next, properties of a colloid. A colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. The size of particles of a colloid was too small to be individually seen with naked eyes. Colloids are big enough to scatter a beam of light passing through it and make its path visible. They do not settle down when left undisturbed. That is, a colloid was quite stable. The components of a colloidal solution are the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. The solute-like component or the dispersed particles in a colloid form the dispersed phase, and the component in which the dispersed phase was suspended was known as dispersing medium. Okay. Here there are the common examples of colloids like in the dispersed phase, in dispersing medium type. Example. Students, go through the above table. Next, elements. Robert Boyle was the first scientist to use the term element in 1661. Make note of it. Antony Laurent Lavoisier is a French chemist, was the first to establish an experimentally useful definition of an element. He defined an element as a basic form of matter which cannot be broken down into simple substance by chemical reactions. Elements can be normally divided into metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Examples of metals were gold, silver, copper, iron, sodium, potassium, etc. And mercury was the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. And the metals have a shine, they have silvery gray or golden yellow color, they conduct heat and electricity. They are malleable, ductile, and sonorous. Non-metals usually show some or all of the following properties, like they display a variety of colors, they are poor conductors of heat and electricity, they are non-lustrous, sonorous, or malleable. These are shown by non-metals. Next, examples of non-metals were hydrogen, oxygen, iodine, carbon, bromine, chlorine, etc. These are the examples of non-metals. At present, we know that more than 100 elements were there. 92 elements are naturally occurring and rest were man-made. Majority of the elements are solid. 11 elements are in gas state at room temperature. 2 elements are liquid at room temperature, like mercury and bromine. Elements like gallium and cesium becomes liquid at a temperature slightly above room temperature. Next, a compound. Compound is a substance composed of two or more elements chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion. Here a table was given. This was very important in exam point of view. There are two differences between mixtures and compounds. Mixtures. Elements or compounds just mix together to form a mixture, and no new compound was formed in mixture. Here in compounds, elements react to form new compounds. A mixture has a variable composition. The composition of each new substance was always fixed. A mixture shows the properties of the constant substance. The new substance has totally different properties. The constants can be separated fairly by physical methods. The constants can be separated only by chemical or electronic chemical reactions. Students, this table was very important, and this table can be useful in writing and improving your answers. And here another chart was given. Matter, like solid, liquid, or gas, these were divided into two forms: pure substance, mixtures. Pure substance again divided into elements, compounds. Mixtures again divided into homogeneous compounds and heterogeneous. Elements were cannot be broken down to simple substance, and the examples of elements were copper, hydrogen, mercury, iron, oxygen, etc. And the compounds have fixed composition. It can be broken down into elements by chemical or electrochemical reactions. And the compounds examples were methane, sugar, salt, water, etc. And the homogeneous were uniform composition, heterogeneous were non-uniform composition. And the homogeneous mixtures are sugar in water, salt in water, sulfur in carbon disulfide, water in alcohol, etc. And the heterogeneous mixture examples were sand, salt, sugar, salt, water in oil, etc. Okay. Then there is a quick summary of what we have learnt from the above. A mixture contains more than one substance mixed in any Mixtures can be separated into pure substance using appropriate separation techniques. A solution was a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. The major component of a solution was called the solvent and the minor solute. The concentration of a solution was the amount of solute present per unit volume or per unit mass of the solution. Materials are dissolved in a solvent and have particles that are visible to naked eyes, which forms a suspension. Colloids are heterogeneous mixture in which the particle size is too small to be seen with the naked eye, but it is big enough to scatter light. Colloids are useful in industry and daily life. The particles are called dispersed phase, and the medium in which they are distributed is called the dispersion medium. Pure substances can be elements or compounds. An element is a form of matter which cannot be broken down by chemical reactions into simple substances. A compound is a substance composed of two or more different types of elements chemically combined in a fixed proportion. Properties of a compound are different from its constituent elements, whereas a mixture shows the properties of its constituting elements or compounds. Students, this is the chapter 2 of class 9 science. If you have any queries or doubts, let me know in the comment section. I'll give quick replies to your comments. Okay? Thank you. And please like, share and subscribe and click the bell icon and share this YouTube channel to your friends also. Thank you.